What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? We're just here for a quick drop today. So, listen, if you were down here on these YouTube streets, you would have to be blind to not know what's going on between Funky Dineva and Michelle A.T. Alien Brown. Now, just to give you a brief backup on the whole situation, if you go back about 6 years now, Funky Dineva and Michelle Brown were friends. You know, we saw them on that infamous video that they did in front of Chateau Charest. They ended up getting sued and having to go to court. And they were friends, you know, and they collaborated. They were YouTubers. That's when Funky Dineva was still living in Atlanta. And she has rental property, and so he ended up renting a townhouse, I believe, from her. Now listen, the reality of the situation is that's always a bad decision. You know, mix your friends with your business because it usually doesn't end up well. Well, unfortunately, during that time period, by Bucky Dineva's own admission, he was going through some hard times. He got behind on his rent. He reached out to his friend, let his friend know some things was going on. His mother had passed away, and unfortunately, he had to pretty much come up with the money for the funeral. It was unexpected, and he was in a bad situation. She chose to evict him. I'm not saying whether she's right or she's wrong. You know, business is business. Friends are friends. If he won't pay his rent, he won't pay his rent. I ain't making no decisions. This is just an unbiased commentary, okay? Well, when the eviction went down, it went public. It was fodder for the YouTube streets. Everybody had an opinion. Everybody was speaking on it. That was before I started doing YouTube. So I sat in silence and just watched what was going on. She made this infamous video going through the house, talking about all the horrible things he did, how he trashed her house, how he had animal feces around, he stole a washer and dryer. She accused him of being on drugs. She accused him of having HIV, all kinds of things. It got really nasty. He did retaliate. And then there was also this infamous video of him going off and speaking about her body odor. Okay, now as the years have gone on, we all have seen Funky Dineva's glow up, okay? And I am happy for you, you know. And he said that that situation had to happen for him to get it together and for him to be where he is now. And he swore that he would never find himself in the situation where he was then. And you know what? For all intents and purposes, from the outside looking in, he doing rich white woman stuff, and I am here for it, okay? Now, last week, again, we all know that Funky Dineva's channel was taken. There was a situation with the old video. You know, if anybody who does YouTube, you guys know that YouTube has these bots that sort of review our videos, and they can demonetize videos, they can strike videos. And in Funky Dineva's case, for whatever reason, they didn't even send a warning. They just flat out took his channel. Now, he said that a lot of YouTubers reached out to him to help him. Tasha K being one of those YouTubers that gave him information to a lawyer that had been successful in getting people's channels back on YouTube. And really before the end of the day, Funky Dineva's channel was back up. I didn't even know his channel was down until I saw his Instagram video. And then later on that night, as I was scrolling, I started seeing videos by Funky Dineva, and I went and I was like, oh, well, his channel's back up. And so clearly it was a situation that had to be resolved, that was resolved very quickly. Well, Michelle Brown, his old nemesis, took that opportunity to reignite the feud that most of us had forgotten even existed, okay? She did a whole live with call-ins, and of course, you know, in any situation, people take sides. So you have people who are pro-Funky Dineva, you have people who are anti-Funky Dineva. The anti-Funky Dineva, of course, are going to gravitate towards Michelle Brown. And so there was a whole live that was done, which I didn't know anything about because I didn't know anything about it. Funky Dineva then does a video where he addresses it. And I feel like in the video, he took the high road. You know, he didn't cuss her out. He didn't call her all kinds of names. He just said, listen, this is really sad. This is really sad that 6 years later, you are still in this same place. I left you there. Okay, it happened. It was what it was. I'm not saying that I was right in the situation. You garnished my wages. You got your money. I remember she did a whole live when she got her last garnishment check, and she did a whole live celebrating the fact that she finished getting all her money from Funky Dineva, and he had paid everything off. And so my thing is, even though I felt like that was a bit much when she did it then, okay, it's done. You got your money. You sued him. You got all of your money. You garnished his wages. You embarrassed him. It was what it was. We're moving on. So he addressed all of that, and he basically said, listen, for whatever I did to you, I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, he didn't say for whatever. He said for everything I did to you. I apologize. I am sorry. And he told her, he said, until you let this go, you are going to continue to be where you are. Like, you're not progressing. You're not going any further than where I left you. I felt like the video took the high road. Now, that's just my opinion. Y'all can disagree in the comments, and that's fine. Then Michelle Brown proceeded to continue to make videos and do uploads. She re-uploaded or showed the video of doing the tour of his home, and just continue to ignite and keep the feud going. I could dig deeper, which I choose not to right now, but I mean, even getting into the T.S. Madison beef, when they were at Essence, she went live and told a story about seeing him coming out of an alley barefoot with his assistant. Now, I don't know whether it happened or it didn't happen, but just the continuous, just pick it at him. Last night, I guess he had enough. And he did an interview with Tasha K, and he let it all hang out. He told his story. He even told some things that we had never known before. For example, he spoke about how she knew his passwords and had actually gone into his Google and had changed some things and had messed some things up, and he had actually missed one of his Google checks from YouTube because she had gone in and changed his banking information or canceled his banking information. That's the kind of vindictive stuff that at a certain point, y'all, we just got to be done with it. Again, it's his word against hers. I'm not taking any sides, or maybe it seems like I am. I think at the end of the day, these were friends. I think she was hurt. Tasha K asked, would there be a place for a conversation? Are you open to a conversation? Are you open to having this moment? And he basically said that he's not. He's moved on. He said the purpose of a conversation is to come to some sort of resolution or what have you. And he said that he's good. He doesn't need it. He's not open for it. And again, I feel like before this happened, maybe he'd have been open to the conversation. But at a certain point, you just have to say enough is enough. You just have to say enough is enough, I personally have my opinions about who's right, who's wrong. Well, no, I ain't gonna say who's right, who's wrong. I personally have my opinions about how it was handled, how the situation was handled. Also, I know they went on to Clubhouse last night. Fuck You Dineva, T.S. Madison, who's had her own issues with Michelle, A.C. Elliott Brown, and Jason Lee, and Armand Wiggins, and that was interesting. I'm sure that I'm sure it's floating around somewhere where y'all can hear it. But even if you didn't catch the Clubhouse, you can definitely catch the Tasha K interview and hear all that Fuck You Dineva had to say. What do y'all think? Drop it in those comments. Let me know what you think. Peace.